morning, children. Today we will discuss about constitution historical background. Okay, historical moments. The historical moments, how to changes of the Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution is the one of the biggest task. Okay, yesterday we will discuss about constitutional principles and what is the main principles of the Indian Constitution. Indian Constitution background. Okay, and some important of the movements, national movements. Okay, the national movement, how to change of the mainly constitution system. Okay, historically, okay, in this chapter we shall study about the historical events. What is the mainly historical events? Historical events. Okay, number one, historical events. The historically, the main movements, particularly independent movement, the movements are totally changes of in Indian historical period. Historically, organize a different type of cultural maintenance. So, what is this mainly? The religions, difference and caste, gender bias. Okay, and next other feelings also is not difference of them. So, that is when in historical events. Historically, India is a largest democratic country. Large democratic country. So in this country, we will look how to rule of the country. How to rule of the country in this manner. So this ruling is the main important task of the Constitution of India. Okay, or Indian Constitution. For example, Article 23 to Article 35, these are the mainly fundamental rights of defense. Article 23 to Article 35, fundamental rights. Okay, main constitution, two types of rights there. First one, fundamental rights. Second one, human rights. Human rights compulsory follow. Human rights is mandatory. Okay, fundamental rights are also mandatory, but the fundamental rights under the control by system of government. Okay, under the control by the government only, government or parliamentary system. So Article 23 to Article 35, these are articles mainly clearly explain fundamental rights. The fundamental rights, one of the main system of the Indian Constitution, fundamental rights. Okay, Article 23 to 35. Next to Articles 36 to 41, human rights. For human rights. Human rights means every human compulsory follow the rights, constitutional right. Okay, right to freedom, right to information, right to live any place, any area. Okay, right to freedom, and so these are mainly etc. These are the mainly articles 36 to 41, article 36A, 36B, and continue article number 41. Human rights only following. So these are main part of the whole part of the constitution body, constitutional part. Okay, so these are mainly historically what events are mainly there. Indian Constitution. Historically, India is the largest population of the country and is to democratic, also biggest of the democratic country. So, Article 23 to 35 mainly fundamental rights and fundamental duties also mainly announced. Fundamental duties, particularly Article 20 to 35. Article 22, 23 and 35. Fundamental duties. What is the fundamental duties? Okay. Yesterday we discussed about particularly mainly historical movements. Which movements are main important movements are which movements are mainly national movement in independence, before independence period. Okay. Civil disobedience, non-cooperation, next to home rule movement, okay, quit India movement, turning point of the movement, Constitution and independence, independence of India, turning point of women, which women? Pretty the women. How many years? Times taken 1942, 1945. How many years? 3 years times taken. The 3 years period mainly wrote of the Indian Constitution in different type of national leaders. Very few women also mainly participated in this meeting, conference meeting. Okay, which conference? Constitutional meeting. Under the constitutional period, the constitutional Sabha. Okay, constitutional meeting. How to conduct the elections and how to formation of the government, systematic of the government and the formation of the government and the end of the political system, end of the government and during time. Direct principles of state policy. Here mainly principles of state policy. The state, every state, this type of policy announced. The policy means here scheme. Okay. Direct principles of state policy also mainly preparable of 1942 and 1945. This period announcement of the new directive principles of state policy. Directive principles of state policy. Okay. Direct principles of state policy. Meaning, what is this meaning? Every state mainly own views, own authority. Okay, own authority and own power. What is the main maintenance of the powering system? Government power, state government, next union government. Okay, direct principles of state policy also announced of the which period? 1942 and 1945. Self-government system, self-governance. Here another new one, self-government system. Self-rule, self-government means local self-government, local governments. Okay, local bodies. The local bodies conduct the elections mainly duration period, particular some periods. Conduct the elections. Every person, every citizen compulsory follow the elections period. Okay, yesterday we will already discuss universal adult franchise. Okay, universal adult means here mainly right to vote, elections period. Every person compulsory use the voting system on the duration of the elections. Okay, olden days means 1948 period. 21 years age only there, 21 years age only there, voting system. Now how many years minimum? 18 years crossed every person. Okay, every adult, done not by any one person. Compulsory use the voting system, elections period. So 1942, 1945. This period, particularly changes of the constitution and independent movement. Historically, independent movement is the one of the biggest main task of independent movement, and foreign policies also announced. Foreign policies, direct principles of state policy. Okay, next one talk about foreign policy, foreign exchange. Foreign policy means here countries to example 1942, 1945 the state policy announced and next to foreign policy. Policy means schemes, new reforms, schemes or reforms, act. Okay, for example 1935 Act. 1935 Act, what is meant? 1935 Act, this act mainly changes of the some important of women. Okay, example civil disobedience movement, not announced of the many peoples, many group of areas. So on that time government, it is government decide change the movement, change the views. It is government period. So same historically the 1942, 1945 in this period principles of state policy, state power and the state authorities. The state authorities also, state-wise department also announcement of the Constitution of India. Second one, yes, foreign policy, foreign exchange, countries to country, export and import, foreign policy. As far as mainly one country to other countries exports and imports. Okay, for example, raw materials, food materials, and other industrial raw materials, industrial system. Okay, agricultural and industrial system also encouraged of the 1942-45 in this period. Okay, so mainly fundamental rights. Indian Constitution all total permanent part of fundamental rights, human rights, and fundamental duties. These are the main permanent parts of the Constitution of India. Okay, this is Constitution of India not only easy. This is the big task. So many type of struggles also affected of many people. Struggles. British government period, so many people affected struggles and crucial rules. Okay, crucial rules means torturing of many people, many societies. Already you know, yesterday we discussed culture, socio-economical, cultural. Socio-economical, cultural means society. So many type of religions are there. The religions also mainly changes of the directions, changes of the principles. Okay, directions and the principles. Directive principles of state policy. Direct changes of directions means to change the new methods, new reforms also. So, for example, planning commission. Which year established planning commission? Economical plan. The planning commission established which year? 1950. 1950 Constitution Day, and same 1950 January Planning Commission also established. Planning Commission. Okay, Planning Commission. Planning Commission, economic plan every 5 years. Okay, economically or politically or cultural society, some mainly first phase in agriculture, second industrial. So 1950 Constitution of India, established of the Indian Constitution, and the Planning Commission also established. This Planning Commission historically changes of in many new type of reforms, economical new reforms, economical new type of political system, the political parties, the political views also mainly changes of the in this Planning Commission. So 1942-45. Okay, once again 1942-45 directive principles of state policy announced of the constitution of some leaders acted. Constitutional leaders. Okay, how many members are there in the constitution? 293 members. The 293 members decide every one person mainly follow the rules and regulations, and suggestions is also given. Suggestions. Okay, every person some important of these suggestions given, and some countries also. For example, Canada, Australia, USA. These are countries constitution also mainly change the new type of policies. Okay, 1940-1945. Directive principles of state policy also announced. So this is foreign policy system, foreign exchange, currency, money. Okay, exchange of goods, items, exports and imports. Okay, export to other countries. So this is mainly particularly European to Asian countries, Asian to European countries. Okay, Planning Commission also first Planning Commission first means agriculture and agriculture related categories. For example, forestry, fishing, mining. Okay, these are depend on the agriculture category. So many political viewers changes of the movements. The national movement, particularly many type of new policies, new schemes also announced. For example, fundamental duties. Every citizen compulsory follow the fundamental duties and fundamental rights. So these rights mainly own views. Okay, for example, writ. What is the main writ? Supreme Court announced of the main of the term or main of the condition. Writ power. Okay, habeas corpus writ. Habeas corpus writ. This is also one of the like example bail. Okay, this is also one of the bail type of system, in judicial system, constitution of the law. Okay, the constitution of law, main of the system habeas corpus writ, and judicial is the. So, for example, our India is a single judicial system. Yesterday we have discussed about the single citizenship and the single judicial system. In our India only, all over India, every state different type of rules there, but all are the states mainly compulsory depend and follow the single judiciary system, rule of law. All are equal before the law. So, in this system, manner. In this system, the citizens' rights, compulsory follow the citizen rights and the citizens' duties also. For example, work from any area, citizen from any place, any area. Okay, work from in nearest area or any particular part of area. The citizens' rights also mainly follow the under the category of 25 to 35 articles. So these are articles mainly permanent part of the Constitution of India. So the Constitution of India mainly, we are the people of India, citizens and sovereign, secular, socialist, democratic republic of the country. In this country, justice, freedom, next socialist, next secular, okay, next here some important of the fraternity. Okay, fraternity also main important of the in this constitution part. Fraternity, it is not only for the one power or one people. It is the depend on the all type of social characters. Okay, society. So the society is totally different types of groups there. The groups also, okay, every religious group. Groups means in this word groups means religions, Hindus, Muslims, next to Christians. Okay, these are the some groups, religious groups. Every religions announced of the articles and schedules. Next to every religions mainly so important of the reservation categories also mainly maintains of the article number 28. So reservation categories, reservation of the caste. So, for example, in our Indian caste, how to function caste reservation wise. Okay, majority of the people Hindus, but reservation first means low type of categories, caste wise, next to religions wise. Okay, so total of the 2,400 above, approximately 2,400 above caste are there in all over India. 2,400. The caste total minority type of caste. Minority means backward type of caste. Okay. Hindu religions, it is 85% people in our India. Hindus, 85% people. Remaining 12% Muslims and 2.5% Christians, Sikh, Buddhism, etc. Jainism. Okay. Here mainly minority of the people. Minority of the people mainly connected the reservation system. Minority of the people. For example, in our society, commonly, women is minority of the people in education system. Women. Okay, depends on the educational and health job purpose. Reservation system first depends minority of the people. Example, women. Next, SC and ST. Okay, OC, they are different type of caste also mainly image of the Constitution of India. So majority, yes to minority. So divide of the this reservation mainly how to change is mainly caste wise. Caste wise also mainly emerged. Caste wise also emerged. Caste wise also emerged of the in this system, reservation system. Okay, Article 25. Article 28, these are articles mainly reservation type of how to mainly follow the every person reservation in education and health next jobs purpose. Okay, so this reservation mainly announced of the in every type of human, every type of person, Constitution of India. So this is the total permanent parts of the Indian Constitution. The Constitution of India, it is the biggest task. Not only is it okay. This is main amendments also changes. For example, 1950, one decade means 10 years. Okay, 1950 to 1960. In this period, 1950 to 1960, in this period, how many amendments are changed? 22 amendments. Okay, 22 amendments. 10 years. 1950 to 1960 means 10 years. 22 amendments were changed. So the Constitution amendments. Amendment means changes of the Constitution. Change of the Constitution, some parts. This amendments also mainly symbol. The Constitution symbol also mainly prepare of the Indian Constitution. Okay. So this amendments how to change? Amendments mainly change particularly 2/3 of the people and also the voting system at the parliament level. Parliament level, 2/3 of people, 2/3 of members. Okay, 2/3 of members compulsory voting elections. The voting was accepted. The bill was accepted in this amendment. So every 10 years. So first, how many? First term. First term means 1950 to 1960. 1950 Constitution Day. So 1950 to 1960, in this period, 22 amendments were changed. Next to 1960 to 1970, how many? 15 amendments were changed. 15. Okay, 10, 15. So every decade to decade, 1950 to 1960, 70, 80, 2000, 2010. Okay, up to 2020. So some amendments also changes from the constitutional amendments. So these amendments mainly changes of the government in government principles, and every citizen compulsory follow the rules and the regulation. Particularly here the main important what is the main permanent body of the Constitution: fundamental rights, fundamental duties, and human rights. The human rights also permanent part of the some articles divide some group wise 20 to 23 some groups, next to 24 to 25 some other groups, so sub-divisional groups. Okay, again divide the sub-divisional groups 30 to 35, okay, 40 to 45. So from how many 3 articles are there up to which year? 1950. Okay, you know, so this articles, every article compulsory principles of the Indian principles, the principles of the Indian backbone. State-wise policies also mentioned. State-wise policies and state-wise schemes. Okay. For example, education planning system. Education planning system is one of the article, one of the rights. RTE, right to education. Right to education bill was passed which year? 2005. Okay. Implemented which year? 2009. 2009. RTE, right to education. This is also one of the main part of the Constitution. So free and fairly conduct the elections. Okay, every person compulsory goes to the school. Every child compulsory go to the air school or government or private mandatory schools. Okay, RTE, Right to Education Act was passed which year? 2005. Okay, right to education. So every child compulsory goes to the every government or private aided schools, state and central, all over states and central level. So this implemented of the literacy rate, education rate. Okay, education and sometimes health also. Education, health, insurance policies, insurance schemes. Okay, RTE Act was passed. Parliament only mainly implemented of the these type of rights. Okay, Parliament only mainly accept or not accepted these type of rights. So Parliament only, Parliament members of the RTE Act was passed this year 2005. Next implemented 2009. 2009 implemented. Okay, implemented for all over India. All over India. So, Act Bill, the bill was passed in 2005, implemented 2009. 2009 present also now implemented many states, all over India, every state. Every state implemented a RTE Act, Right to Education, Right to Free and Compulsory Education, Right to Free and Compulsory Education Act. So this act also one of the main important of the in school and college level and university level. Okay, school, college and university level. So this Right to Education Act not only school level, not only higher education and college level also implemented of every student. So this is also one of the historically. So this historically many reforms. Historically many reform changes of the Indian Constitution. Okay, changes also now present. Now present also some changes of the principles and the people's views also. Okay, recently Jammu and Kashmir Article 370 also changes of the Jammu and Kashmir divided to union territories. Jammu and Kashmir one side, Ladakh is the eastern side. Okay, okay, this is one of the main biggest task of the in this system. Okay, so the constitution is the total whole of the government. Okay, government permanent heart the constitution, permanent part. So change in directions also. Okay, every citizen, every political party also compulsory, every political party, particularly how to formation of the government. It is the main biggest of the question. How to formation of the government formation mainly, particularly here main society, main important of the persons, peoples. The peoples only mainly announced of the political leader, not the elections. Free and fair elections. Free and fair Canada elections. Okay, durable time of the period. Durable time of the period. Mandatory compulsory. Okay. Free and fair Canada elections. The elections period also compulsory. Mainly follow the rules and regulations in every citizen. Okay, every citizen is also compulsory. Your values. Okay, the values also value. The elections value. Value is also one of the main important of the principle of in the system. Okay, election commission also announced of the in this topic. In this topic mainly we discussed about depth of the constitution, depth of Indian constitution. The Indian constitution is the historically biggest of the constitution. Next, this constitution mainly formation of the government and changes of government, changes of the political leaders and changes of the Indian political party and ruling party, opposite parties. Okay, their parties, political parties. What is the main purpose? Political parties. The political parties are so mainly. The political parties are so mainly conduct the some different type of manifesto. The manifesto totally changes of manifesto. Okay, the manifesto mainly changes of the economically and development of in society, historical and economical development of society and categories. So this reservation type of categories, women's and men's and other religious group, The religious groups also mainly changes of the historical of Indian constitution. Okay, here foreign exchange policies, announced in this movement. Foreign exchange policies, right principles of state policies, planning commissions policies. Okay, some green revolution also announced in the agriculture movement. Green revolution also one of the main type of reforms of Indian historical period. Okay, so this is the main part of the historical background of Indian constitution. Okay. Next to conclusion. What is the main conclusion? Okay. What is the main conclusion about in this topic? The conclusion about historically the political movements, the national movements. The national movement not only affected of the one part only. Some provinces total all over India. The movements first started particular some region only. The regions how to spend. The speed is now very fastly and very strictly also given. So the national movement mainly changes of the historically Indian constitution. The constitution of India is the one of the biggest of constitution of Indian country. Okay, I mean so for example the Indian constitution permanent parts. Okay, so that 5 principles of state policy. And conclusion about Indian historical background. The Constitution is the biggest of the Britain. So next, foreign policy, announcement of the new economic policies, planning commission, and foreign exchange items, and principles of state policy, and some important of the fundamental rights and fundamental duties. Okay, and next, some articles and schedules. These are the permanent part of the constitution parts. Okay, this is the main important part of the conclusion about the historical background of events. And next to constitution parts. Okay, students, tomorrow we will discuss another new topic, human rights and fundamental rights. Fundamental rights and citizenship, particularly articles. Okay, total how many articles? Articles divide how many type of groups? Okay, subdivisional groups, and which type articles divide how many type of groups, and next to schedules also, some parts of schedules. Okay, we will discuss it tomorrow. Okay, thank you.